Okay, the meeting is now being recorded. Let's see, first order of business. This is the usual. We have minutes that Peg distributed for the last two meetings. We didn't have a quorum last time, so we couldn't vote on it. So I think we have a quorum, so.
We do.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the 3rd September?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 10th?
I'll make the motion to approve them.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, thanks for doing this, they're very good,
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
very good. Okay. Mike is on his way here, I'm assuming, I should pull the thing out to present the costs. So we'll jump around on the agenda a little bit. But before we go there, I'd like to do some housekeeping here. Well, Mike has requested to join our team here. And I think the committee needs to, maybe you want to say a couple words about why you'd like to join this committee, Mike?
I think it's an important mission for the town to have a facility such as community senior center. I like to put my efforts into that. I have the time. And I feel like it'd be an added voice. But I think that what I've observed so far, this is a very good working committee.
Right.
So.
Well, welcome. We welcome you here.
I think the process and step, I think the committee, does anybody have any questions for Mike? Other than there's another Mike?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all got last initial.
Mike, and my brother Mike.
I'm not sure of protocol, but I thought this committee should approve Mike joining the committee and moving it on to select.
My God, he wouldn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's usually how it's done. So does anyone have a motion?
A motion to accept Mike as a new member of our committee.
I'll second that.
Gladly.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mike, next step is I'll send a note off to the board, select board. Item, but welcome aboard. We look forward. I think it'll be an interesting run. We have this phase, and if we're successful, we have a longer phase.
The only question I have is, am I adding him as a volunteer?
Oh,
Or
committee.
he's going to be a committee. Okay, just want to be sure.
That'll take us back up to 7.
This morning.
Yep, replacing one. Okay. Jeremy's not here. He's at a conference. We'll get the final number model Thursday. We can share it. He did discuss it last week, but I think he was looking at proportionally based on the cost of the building. One of the things we could talk about, Peg, is just in general what the communications team's coming up with and doing. And, the new utilization. Karen, you can maybe talk to that a little bit.
All right, Karen's been working on that. I mean, I can just tell you honestly, I was working on some of the things with Amy. I would pass them down and sometimes they didn't come back to me to get posted. Anything that she's approved, I've posted on the senior page and Karen has picked it up on her page.
How's that going, Karen, from your standpoint?
Good, very good. The last one, socialization, everyone likes it. There's not one complaint.
Good.
One person said anything negative.
They might have heard they'd have to deal with these two guys.
We're gonna send the police.
So they're behaving. Hey, Amy.
Hi, Amy. The other efforts is, on the communications committee also took on the challenge of that matrix thing of utilization.
Right, Karen did that.
Yeah, Karen, you want to just give us a quick update on that piece?
Um,
There's a PDF in your packet.
Right.
And I sent,
Our process was to work with Amy and Janet to ensure that we had a list of all of the current and projected workshops, special events, socialization events, educational events that are or would or could be a function of the new center. So we started from there. Then we, at the same time, we discussed how many times during the course of the year that would happen. So that's in the column for instances, and the duration period is also in the worksheet. Then we worked with the utilization hours, which is just a matter of multiplying the number of instances by the amount of time. There's a column there for current and future use. Some of the items are currently done and will also be done in the future. Others are not done currently and will be done, could be done in the future. So that's in a column as well. Then we went and forecasted how many people we anticipated would utilize those programs during the course of the day, should there be sufficient space to accommodate. So that was our forecast figure. So what we've come up with is a ratio of approximately 90% utilization, just 91% utilization of the space once we're up.
How do I ever interpret the forecast of 25/?
That was minimum max. Minimum max.
And are those forecasts applicable to the current?
No, because we don't have enough space.
So two things that add to this. I total up the current hours. Demonstrate the increase, comparatively speaking, we can only offer this much hours today. We're increasing it twofold, threefold, whatever that number is. And also put a current, we did the forecast, 25-42.
Yeah.
What's your current level? It could be 10-15, right? So you're sort of demonstrating increased numbers of people, increased hours and programs that you're offering in a new building.
And Amy would probably have that information because people check in with my senior thing. We didn't have access to those numbers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when I look at this, it's good. And I think when I see the current versus the future exits, to kind of compare what you can offer today versus what you're able to offer tomorrow, just why you're doing it, would be a powerful empirical number to demonstrate to people. Then the number of head counts, if you can only get 10 people versus 25,
Right.
The min-max constraints of the current versus the future would be another comparative I'd want to show people.
How far are we going to go back though? Are we going to do like pre-COVID?
No, not in the actuals. Just think about how many people, what's your capacity?
A snapshot on average.
I know, I think Amy would be the best one for that. I
Right, so
can tell you.
If you look at one of say one of the lunches, right, and your max is 50 and you do place for 100, given the size of the room, what's your max today? 25, 30?
I think a better comparison would be exercise. Our max today is 10.
Well, I would do it.
She wants
Each one of these-
it
each one
forever.
of these current X's that you offer today, what's your min-max? So you can demonstrate the benefit. The increase, because when you say you turn people away, this will actually demonstrate how many potential people you're turning away. But having to say, I turned away 50, you can demonstrate, I can only offer this, I can offer this many more seats in the next go.
I think, Mike, what we may want to do is just set up a quick session at the center as we did with the other one, Amy, and just go through these and just do a brainstorming from what's your knowledge base, not going through all the data.
Okay, so Mike, to be clear, you want the current level.
I think your current hours is just a math exercise in itself. You already have it,
Yeah.
right? That's an easy.
Yeah.
So instead of being able to say you've got today, in the future, you've got 4 available hours, 145,560 hours. What are your available hours in the current state based on your exits, right? That's just,
Okay, so you want it by hours and the number of participants as well.
yeah, I mean, I would demonstrate that you want to show a comparative of the benefit you're providing with the spend.
Yep.
Do you want to throw staffing into that too? Because exercise, if you're going from 10 to 25, I mean, necessarily you don't need staffing, but you can support more. Because people might say, well, now that we have 25 people versus 10, it's going to
We're gonna,
create more staff.
you're gonna have to demonstrate.
Well, she's not doing the exercise, you hire that out.
But that's what I'm saying. You want to show that you can increase the capacity, but not increase the budget by adding more
Yeah,
full-time
in some-
employees.
in some cases, it'd be similar.
I follow you.
And I'm just saying pure offering, pure benefit. Our offerings are increasing to the number of people that can attend, the number of programs we can do based on, without building constraint. The anecdotes we've always said is we're turning people away. What so many things we want to offer. What I see in front of me is, oh, here are all the new things you want to offer in the future column. You know, social programs, educational, et cetera. It's there. I think you just want to summarize it where you can say, this is what we do today. This is what we can do tomorrow.
Okay.
That's
We got a couple of communication pieces working. I'm back in the blender. Get it. I think I see a path through that. That shouldn't be a heavy. You guys worked a lot on this, you know.
This is a lot of work. This is unbelievable. Good job.
Amy, I guess I would ask you to think about your availability and listen.
Okay. But this is good work because it really shows, if nothing else, even in the current, the activities and things that I'm number of that. Okay, good. We're jumping around on the agenda a bit.
Hi, Mike.
And I think what we can do is, Mike's here. Mike, have you met Mike?
Yes, we met the last meeting.
This is bad. We got two Karens. I don't know. Exciting what's coming.
We got this forward.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I think what we could do is dive into some of the meat of this thing. A big piece is around the cost. Oh, before we go to the cost, Amy, just want to get a quick rundown for the newspaper. We have,
I just sent it off, the one article you had written and other people
yeah.
that got sent off. That's all I did. Then for the newsletter, we have that. We have 2 did you knows.
Okay, so the newsletter, you have digit knows.
Yeah.
Okay, just as a side note for the newspaper, just that piece of paper you see with Mendon Center and the pictures on there with the QR code. Yeah. That is being inserted into the Mendon Upton newspaper. Just to conform the community. Okay, so the newspaper goes out. When does that usually hit the street?
11th.
Okay.
And just curious, you weren't concerned that people would look at this and say that they haven't changed anything?
No,
Are those the original renderings?
They're
different.
it's the same design, but we actually made the building
No.
smaller.
This isn't the same as what went on.
No, you mean what he built, what he drew before. You're
It's different.
what he drew.
Okay. It looks similar.
it's
It's
very,
the same architecture, but we removed a couple of chunks of this and made the building smaller.
and I think there's a note in that, if you see, Amy, it talks about the square footage going down to 9,600.
That does. It's right in that area.
And then Friday, just to let the team know, I'm trying to get together, Teresa from the newspaper wanted to do an interview. So we have Jeremy, I'm glad that Jeremy. Dave, I think I may have put you on it. What time is it? 2:00. And we might have Mike or Alana and myself, just to interview with Teresa, talk about in my view, the importance of this facility. And she may be looking for, spin a good article from the editor or from whatever she is. So we should have good coverage in the October paper.
The local paper.
Do you know if she's coming to the meeting on Monday night? We have a meeting Monday night, is that correct? That maybe you should invite her to that too.
We could, I'll do that, I'll send it to her, send her email. We have ABMI
Right.
coming
Yeah.
Monday night. So a video recorded for Channel 8. The open meeting on Monday. I think I haven't checked the website, but I think it should be posted on the website banner. Dan sent me an update. We posted meetings. And then Karen, maybe we'll probably do a posting. We will do a posting on.
Right.
You can probably steal his shot from the website and post it on the.
I don't put it on senior center page.
Yes.
So that's
We're
what,
in
the-
tandem.
That's right.
that's what the communication team's been up to this past week, along with analyzing this. Okay, with that now, I think I can turn it over. Mike's gonna run through the new updated design,
You want to say?
revised design, and also.
Anyone need handout?
Mike, yeah,
Dates.
yeah, that'd be good.
I'll keep one, a piece around.
Absolutely. It'd probably be easier since we're not gonna be,
This way I don't have to carry them out.
there you go.
Okay, actually, see it.
So you can read it.
It's two. Oh.
What is
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
No, I,
Okay.
giving them to them, I'll share the Karen.
So what we included in this packet was a May 2024 concept. It was up around 13.2, was 11.5 square feet. Talked about the program there, we wanted to show what the site was. And the next two, then we show the floor plans for that larger concept, just so that there's a point of reference. Then we get to the current concept, which is the September 2024. And we've reduced it to about 96 to 9,800 square feet. And our price is at 11,946,000. Under 12 enough. So by a scope. With what we did to get there is we reduced the size of the building, which I'll get to, obviously from the square footage, I'll walk through that in a moment. But the first thing you'll notice is that when we're looking at the site is that we're able to, obviously you reduce the building, so you can reduce the parking. And we took the areas of parking that require the largest cuts on the site. Although the site looks relatively flat, it's not. And they start trying to build a building on it and get parking and get minimum slopes and all that happening. There was a fair amount of cutting that was going to happen on what is, I'll call it the left side. And so we reduced some of that. So that actually brought the site down. We still believe that there's a fair amount of savings to be had. If you just go back one page to the estimate from PMNC, site cost is still around 3 million. And we still believe that when the site actually gets engineered and we place the building and we do all the work to this, there's savings to be realized there. But no one is going to commit to that at this early stage until we actually have a civil engineer design the site.
I have a question. You said the parking has been decreased. What was the decrease in numbers from how many? We don't know.
It's around, I think it's around 85 or 90 spots now.
Yeah.
And it was around.
I don't have that exact count, I'm sorry.
Just, that's.
And if you do a per population average, it would be 100 and some people. Supposed to have four people in one spot, so we have enough to cover. So
We definitely have enough.
Okay.
we haven't reduced it to being,
It's a decrease, but still adequate.
And I took the parking spaces out of those areas that were most expensive to construct. And then that helped bring the site price down a little bit, but again, until it's actually engineered, I think we're gonna carry that large number to be safe. So then we get into the building itself. And, at the first glance, it probably doesn't look like it changed a whole lot. But I was, yes.
Question. Your bottom of the drawing, you said May 2024. Are these in fact May or are these the new ones?
Here it says, these all.
You gotta go farther down. Yeah.
Keep going.
Put that.
Keep going.
Yep, keep going.
keep going, put down.
There's another whole section. It says September of 2024,
Okay.
Sorry about that.
page 10. Right.
Okay.
So page 10,
where you'll notice it's kind of like two larger pieces of the building and kind of something that connects them, which is the two restrooms and the kitchen. That's where we took the space out of the building and kind of pushed the two masses together. And we took the space that was there and brought it downstairs, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But we still have our vestibule, we have our comfortable lobby. We have the administration area, which we shuffled things around just a little bit to make it more compact. We did take the multi-user office, which is health and that, brought it down to the lower level. And we kept the library, which is socialization area, books, games, it's sort of upstairs. The kitchen remained about the same. And the multi-purpose room remained the same to have the same 100+ people. So we didn't lose any capacity in that standpoint. We still have the outdoor deck. When we go to the lower level, we had in the upper right, it's called the multi-purpose room number 2. That was a room that was a dedicated large room. We had other classrooms or activity spaces upstairs. This room here, we've added another one of these partitions that divides that room in half. So that can be 2 activity rooms or can be open to be used as a public meeting room or a larger space for the senior center. It's in its location because it has access to the outside vestibule and the food pantry, and that room can be used while the rest of the center is locked off and kept safe and secure because we've dedicated a single user restroom to service that area when it's being used separately. Then we have the multi-purpose office and the game room down there as well. So the activities are divided between the 2 floors. That's that, yes.
We were wondering if we could move the restroom closer to the multipurpose room so that we could put a sink in the multipurpose room. And could always move the multipurpose office to that location. It's good to have, depending upon what you're doing, it's good to have access to water in the room.
And I think we can do that. So I just want to put the caveat out there that what we have right now is we've accounted for everything space-wise. And it works in a floor plan with a mass of a building that we have a price on. If this project moves forward, there'll be a lot of time to say, we thought about this should move there and do that shuffling because we'll revisit that piece of it.
Thank you.
Okay? But that's a good point. I mean, things like that. So we've made sure we've accounted for things like sprinkler room, the electrical room, mechanical, and that sort of thing. So yes, sir.
Dave, you know, it's for the emergency management, shower facilities, things like that, the single user, that need at the bottom half, or is there?
Yeah.
I think what we can, so we have one, there's someone at the door.
What's the limit?
What we can do is in that other single user shower.
Yeah, I used to know from a capacity and, you know, you was more state.
You just, I mean, you can actually have a university shelter without it, but then you don't get funding. That's
That is the need.
Yeah, it's only plop one in. I mean, it'd be useful to have two. So I mean, if we can look at that during design.
We could actually do the design down the road and turn it into a real project. We can add that. Okay. Again, I think the way this will happen if the project moves forward is the first thing will be that the site will be engineered by a civil engineer. And at that point, and also we're going to do, whoever does it, I hope it's us, but it might be somebody else. There'll be 4 price estimates throughout the course of doing design development and construction documents. So you're always checking back to that number. Where I'm thinking is that once the site is designed and there's another round of schematic design and further development of this, there's another estimate. And that's when you start to find those funds that I believe are available in that site number. But I'm not going to commit to that now because that site has got its challenges. So we need to leave the money there. Okay. So the building aesthetically is the same. It's very similar to what we did before. There's a few other places, I think there's some, we'll tweak it as we go if the project moves forward. But this accounts for everything that you've wanted and everything you need at a 97-ish 100 square foot senior center. And again, if there's money to be realized early in the actual process, that's when the time is to start.
Should be noted that this plan excludes the garage.
Mhm.
It excludes some of the storage activity area. Storage is small. And what else, Mike?
That's really it. I also think that, when we actually do these things, it's designed as a formula for a kitchen. And I think the kitchen will be proved to be a little bit larger than we need, but again, I don't want to have a lot of space down the road. The other thing I want to point out is on page 7 of 15, there is the one pager that we extracted from the PM&C estimate for all of the folks in town that start to want to nitpick. All the backup for that, Phil has it. This is the full estimate that goes through all the CSI sections and actually puts real numbers. It isn't just an arbitrary square foot number. This is proof that this building can be built for this price.
We will plan, I think, after talking to Elena, because that will send out, I'll send this out to the committee, but we'll also probably post it on.
Mhm.
And that's a full blown estimate, which we're waiting.
Now, there's always that person that'll say, you can do this for less than that. And, you're gonna get some of that when you put this kind of detail out there, but as in the name of transparency, this should be up there for people to see.
That's a question.
Does the price include the outside gaming area and the wall? That
It
gorgeous
does.
stone wall?
It does.
Okay.
We need that stone wall to build this on the site.
Pull the dirt back. Any questions or comments?
What's the, this said, what's the square footage for this footprint? So I think the other thing Phil should probably be prepared to speak to is how much of that property is actually going to the senior, how much is left for possible.
So are you asking about the footprint of the building, Mike?
And just so, we have one big, plot of land over there, we
Yeah.
expect to use for more than this, so how much is left?
It was under, I think it was under.
It's about 3 acres that we're taking.
Around 3. The lot was like 22, I think.
Yeah, I just want to be able to speak to the,
In that site plan that we had from that
We
engineer,
have the engineering.
there's a number on that site plan that talks about the acreage. I think the one thing to point out too is that this project is actually building access to that site. That driveway acts as a roadway to start, and it's designed such that it could be continued for something else. But this project is bearing somewhere around $700,000 to $800,000 to build that piece of roadway. And so it is a driveway. It's not a DOT roadway, but still it is access into the site, which doesn't currently exist.
well, we want to manage that message because whoever benefits from developing something down the hill, maybe they should be picking up that cost, might be the argument thrown back at us.
I'm just putting that out there for you to use it as you see fit.
But it's a town, so doesn't matter. It's gonna come from the same kitty anyways, whether it's another.
Unless we're to sell it.
We'll just charge premium.
Can we sell it to a developer? Wait, that was what?
Is it all CPA funds?
I think so, and I'm supposed to be for municipal space for fields and recreation.
But I don't think it has the same sort of restrictions. We can find out, but I think that it was considered for the age restricted mixed use overlay, which means that it's, it is developable in the sense that like the planner thought that it could have, mixed use, so meaning, housing and businesses together. So that suggests that land is like, it doesn't have the same restrictions as some of the other properties.
Not conservation restrictions.
Right, it does not have that. It was, I don't believe it was CPA funds, because then that would come with those restrictions.
It was some. That's why we have the CR fund, is that?
Yeah,
On the front,
Yeah. I think we have options. I'm more thinking if that takes 3 acres, what do we have left? Because if the conversation actually goes to what's your overall plan? Go to say, rezone it at the same town meeting we're talking about this project. I'll be able to speak to what that looks like.
keep it simple. Yeah, these numbers we presented to, we got them and I presented them to Jeremy. Right. So he has these numbers, he's meeting with the accountants or whoever figures out the financial lending stuff. Today, I believe. So hopefully we'll get those numbers from him. We'll see him in the capital, or whatever meeting we'll have. So hopefully by the end of the week, no later than Monday, because he'll need to speak to it Monday. We'll have the numbers we need in case somebody says, well, what's that mean to my taxes? And we've had a preliminary review with him, and he's going to try to, I think, keep it in the spirit of what we've done in the past. But I mean, the number's not getting smaller. So taxes will go down a little bit. It's still a number. Mike, any other questions? I think we have a number. I will share this document, which I go to bank on these documents from a company, independent group that says, you want to build this thing, this is what it costs you. It's not Mike telling us that. So I'm comfortable with the 11.95.
I'll also say that I spoke with the person we're doing with that. Said, okay, it's going to ask this question once again. So of all the estimates you've done, how many buildings actually come in over? And she said, I'm comfortable to say that not one of our buildings has ever come in. So I think, this is a very comfortable estimate. And I actually.
Not the accuracy of the number. It's the number. It's going to be the challenge.
Yes.
You realize that, right?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, the point is, there's a question of, you're giving me a number and how much more is it going to be? There's always that question.
Right.
But I think, to me, I want this credible number for us to go with.
But the elephant in the room is it was 13, now it's 12. People are going to look at it and say, what changed?
Right.
And just telling you, that's a big number that we need to be prepared to deal with because.
At the end
They
of
probably expected it to be like we did, under 10.
Or 10.
Yeah.
Ish.
But as Mike had said, the cost per square foot, the basic cost is still there.
So to get this, as we talked about, to get this under 10, the ramification is that to you folks, it might not be worth doing it for that, to get this building under 10. The building is so small that it isn't really worth the project. That's what I heard, and that's what we said.
Well, you say that, but we're kind of crippled where we are. Parking is just so dangerous. It's just so dangerous.
Yeah, there's a lot of, the list goes on.
It's only a matter of time before we can't use across the street because there's already buildings there, sheds and.
I think as a committee, we got to present the number. The number is the number. And I'm thinking at 10 million, quite frankly, because that would be a problem. At 9.5, because there's still taxes. I think, the economy right now is tough. People don't want to pay any extra taxes. So I'm not sure. I agree, it's a tough number. It's a number we have. So I can remember the meeting here, we said, Mike and I looked at each other at 13 too and said, keep going. But we did due diligence, so we did save $1.2 billion. But something, it's not nothing.
instructions to the roof. I mean, if this was a pre-COVID building, would this be 8 million, 8.5 million?
How many square feet?
9,600 square feet. The building you're building right now would be $8 or $9 million building. It's
Let's see.
12 now because of 40% increase in construction over 4 years.
2015. we built the one
I just did
Wellesley,
some
which is-
research for, did you know that I'm working on it? And pre-COVID costs have increased 37%.
So to give you an idea, we built the one in Wellesley, which is 14,000 square feet for 8.8 million.
I think this building right now that we're sitting would be 11, 12 million. We built it for 6.5.
Yeah, 37% increase since pre-COVID is a lot of money.
And based on what Jeremy said at the last meeting, the debt from 2024 that fell off that we were hoping to take advantage of, that's gone. So
We'll let him manage that message and how to control it now. I haven't heard his, how to do it. They can't carry that money.
I'd ask that question. Just thinking if
But-
taxpayers get a boost on their
It's in that.
taxes.
Yeah, it's a matter.
I mean,
It's too bad.
no, it's gonna drop, it's gonna go back up, so, but I mean, it's still, you can get back to the same level of debt, you just have a bump in the road. People are like, "Oh, my taxes went down for 6 months, now my taxes going back up, you know?
Yeah, that's what we're, I mean, I
So-
just
Yeah.
how the mind thinks.
You're right, it's a math exercise.
To give you an idea, that pre-COVID, this building, $8.7 million.
When you vote that now,
Yes.
we wouldn't have had the numbers coming to see us.
You know, those of us that have been in this industry enough know that even in 2008, 2009, when the bottom fell out of it, prices didn't come down to that great degree.
Yeah, so this is the message that this team needs to continue to carry. The need is there. We talked about the need, some of the folks for 10 years, us for 2. We visually see the need on a daily basis. This does position us to have a center that the whole town can use. And it can be the focal point for a lot of growth and development, not only for the seniors, but for the whole. In regards to the Monday event, I was thinking of, Elena and I talked about the other day. Basically, maybe like a panel style conversation where Jeremy will be present, somebody from the select board is available, and David, myself, and any other committee member can sit there and just kind of give a brief overview. Mike can do a presentation of
So is that what you want me to do, is do a presentation?
just a brief presentation.
Is there a screen there?
There is a screen, a large screen.
So I'll bring my projector.
Bring your, well, actually, there's a TV you can plug in your phone.
Yeah, it's a,
Computer.
you share your screen through like Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
Or if you send the PowerPoint to the select board. Or actually, I get the bill, whoever's gonna be
No, yeah, somebody,
I'll get it to you.
yeah, you guys, we'll load it up.
How detailed do you want me to be on the process? Do you want me to start to review the process we've been through and how we got to this building? How much do you want me to? Into?
I was not gonna go that far back.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, we've been there once before. I was thinking about, here we are.
So what's different instead?
Yeah, what's the,
Kind of
You
what you
want me
already
to start
did.
with what's different?
and if there's questions about how we got there, we'll gladly answer.
Right, why don't we see how many people show up? And kind of give them part of the floor, like with
Yeah.
their questions, because they probably want to just ask their questions and then maybe they want to leave or.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we have a, short presentation.
Yeah.
I would like to panel the committee to say, here's why we believe it. The select board and town administrator just to comment on it. And then open it up for the folks,
What time is this?
6:30.
6:30.
And I mentioned earlier, Channel 8 will be there doing your recording. I think Dan volunteered, but I asked Tyler to come because he can edit and splice and probably position better for the cable network. I know Dan works to do this kind of stuff. Because it's, so, but Tyler will be there to record it. So that'll be that element. That'll be the first. I think as a team, we may want to put, if there's a lot of interest, we gauge from wherever we get it. We could consider mini meetings at the senior center as we did before. And then there's another one on the 28th of October, right before the elections.
That's also a Monday,
That's another Monday.
Do you need me to?
probably.
That'd be good.
Okay, yeah, I just want to find out.
It's very close to the election.
Yeah, when we're doing public ones, that'd be good to have that.
Okay, yep.
Same time. Same time.
First one's important because of the mail-ins.
And yeah, so the second one will be in the middle of mail-in voting and early voting.
Person,
So
so
sort of already the election will have started by the second session.
It's next door, right? And the
yes.
Yeah. Stairs.
Yeah, we've already started, but I think there's a lot
Oh,
of,
right, there still will be people who want the information. And we still have the special town meeting vote as well.
there's another one, yeah, I haven't even gotten it for, do this, even another effort. That's a 2/3 majority. We have a lot of work ahead of us, a lot of communication. But I think we're focused, we've got a price, a direction. Let's go try. What else do we have on the agenda? There's no more comments for Mike or the cost. I'd like to just quickly go through the other elements on the agenda. We talked about communications, the paper, the diginos. We talked briefly that we were the PAC committee's putting out stuff as well. Jeremy will have the website up for us, I think, once we give him this data. I'm thinking we'll put the costing estimate, the drawings, frequently asked questions are factual, we can put those up. So we'll just feed that to Jeremy and he can bring up the web. Hope to have that available, so I'll slide it to Dan early. Because I think he'll probably do execution of it. Dan may get it for us. But I'd like to have some kind of visibility there on our site, the town site, of all the standard stuff. And then the next thing in your packet at the end, one of the next things, is the critical dates. I think 9:30 is a big one for us. The launch stuff on the website. Information page to get that completed so we can put that on the website and also have a handout Monday meeting. And I'm thinking, remember the benefits page that we did before? Community and the others? I don't think that's changed a lot. That's a good informational piece for people to have.
I don't think we've changed it much, no.
I think what we'll knock off it is the money things on the bottom. And we'll just have that available for people as handouts and on the webpage.
Can we tell how many people have looked at our page on the town website? Is there like this? These have like a counter on them of people
Oh,
watching.
like on YouTube, there's a counter. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked.
I'm just curious.
Like, a good look.
I don't know.
Halloween's come.
And I don't know if Dan can track how many viewers on the page on the town website, or Dan or somebody. I've never seen that, but it's
I've
possible,
never seen it, but I have to believe it exists.
right?
You have a click rate.
Well, I mean, yeah, you sometimes have to set it up, so like it's, yeah. You can ask,
I'm just curious.
yeah,
It might give us an indication how many people may show up for these meetings.
right.
But we'll see. The posters will go out to the printer. And basically the 2 floor plan renditions and 2 images. That'll go out tomorrow, be ready for the Monday meeting.
They went to the printer yesterday, right? What sent them?
Oh, that's the printer for the insert.
Okay,
The posters will go to the printer tomorrow. That's a 1-day turnaround. That'll be the 2x3s.
So you have no logo.
Yeah, no. That'll be the floor plans, the backside and the front. I think that's it,
Where are you gonna put those?
around the meeting. And there's some other articles here. I have noted here that the PAC committee's doing stuff with lawn signs again. And the only other thing, Dave, you got the warrant article.
Yeah.
That's coming
I'll
up.
get a hold of Jeremy.
Okay.
Work with him on that.
The date for that is October 17th, so if you can wrap that up by then.
I got it as the 18th. The warrant due?
Yeah.
I have the
We have to
18th.
move it to the 17th because the 18th is a Friday.
Okay. Change.
On Friday meeting?
Well, yeah, the town clerk requested that we not have it close on a day when town hall is closed.
Okay. No problem. Reasonable. 10, 17, to work with Jeremy.
And then, I think we're all incumbent, as I said before, this is not, I don't think, political, we just need to make sure people are aware of the neighbors and friends. And I think the mail down, that's still early October, isn't it? I think it's early.
It won't be sooner than early October because we're almost out of September,
Right.
but we don't know how early in October. So, Ellen thought they might come a little bit sooner than she'd originally expected, but, we'll find out.
Hey, we always said this would be a lot of fun, I think. Anything else?
I have one more question.
Sure.
How many more of the did you knows do you want to do? I know Karen you're working on one right now, you said, right? Is it socialization that you said today?
I was working on one for socialization for the community. And the next idea that I had was to talk about the existing building, what the estimated value of it is for the property, so that we can say that this is, as a capital investment, we would be saving another part use that. So those are the two that I have.
Do you
Okay.
need the value of the existing building?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
I do,
Oh,
just so happens.
all right, cough it up.
So
I didn't say that, Mike.
I did.
it's under construction that building is, and so the building and the deck and the site, if you were to reproduce that building, would be about 1.2 million.
It's the value of, how about that additional acre of land?
That's not included,
That's
not
not
including
included.
land costs at all.
Oh, okay,
This is just a construction, right?
okay.
This is also constructing it in kind, exactly as it is, not code upgrades, not ADA, not all of that. It actually is reasonably ADA compliant, except for the back.
What do we,
Which is 1/3 of the property.
what do we use that number for to demonstrate?
So what, yes,
My question is we have a cost avoidance building.
It gets
If the-
repurposed.
If the highway newly constituted,
Well, the cost of that building as is would not be a cost of avoidance because we never redo that building.
I'm just giving.
I'd be concerned with somebody that says, you mean the existing senior center, which is limited but still functional, would cost $1 million to put on that property, and you're asking for 13? That's-
No, I don't think.
No,
that's what you said.
I'm just saying, you
That's a
put
good
that
point.
information out there,
That's a good
you're
point.
potentially showing a comparison of what we have today. We could rebuild what we have today on a new site to deal with parking, at a cost of $1 million plus parking.
That's at prevailing wages and everything.
But then I would say, well, why can't you do something better than what we have today for 5 million? Versus the 12 we're talking about.
So, you know,
Position that says we won't.
but
Well,
it's not compliant though, so.
Well,
You
it's
get
also,
pushback on program information. I mean, I think,
But
I'm just.
you can push back on anything, and so hence, we could throw our hands up and say, well, why are we bothering to do it?
it's not just a senior center, it's a senior and community.
Community center.
But so is enough.
Yes, we say it is, but
It's
it's,
emergency
there's
management.
woefully
I
added.
like the devil's advocate. Bring some apples. But can you articulate from a capital standpoint, if we don't have to build something for somebody, how we're avoiding some funds?
So that's what I'm saying, is you had to go put a public works building on a new site from scratch, what would that cost? Versus adaptive reuse of an existing structure.
so, you're probably talking a couple $1 million,
Please.
at least.
And so we're saying
Depends on
you're
what's in there.
potentially netting out a net new building that's needed for highway, et cetera, parks, which was talked about. by adaptive reuse of an existing, to me, it's demonstrating due diligence on reuse of existing town. We're not just speaking.
And the other thing to
I like the
consider
message.
though, is that that building is, as an existing building, doesn't need to be brought 100% up to code. Whereas if you build a new building, it's a different.
That's true.
So there is a benefit to repurposing that, and it isn't a change of use because it's a municipal building.
So it's 1.2, but not in any kind of code. In other words, it's not in code at 1.2
It's
million.
rated as it.
Yeah, it's an interesting number, but Mike brings up a very good point. Mike Goddard.
One of the mics.
It's the adaptive reuse of that building has a potential savings of what would take place. And that's a message I'd like to have somewhere in this whole thing.
I mean, it came up in town meeting.
Yeah.
It was, we got around to that answer, but
But it's kind of, we're thinking about, we're gonna do it, but we were fuzzy on that answer. I'd like to be stronger on that answer. I don't mean we didn't answer.
I think you go that avenue instead, because that 1.2 is deceiving too, because that's what it costs you to build that. You can't build that. On a stretch code and CPA, you can't build that now.
Exactly.
You couldn't even build it.
So that's the
Legally.
thing. It is a building that's there and is existing, but you couldn't really build that building, right?
So maybe we shouldn't even mention that
That's right.
1.2 value.
I was asking.
We'll just say value.
say, stay away from dollars, demonstrate the benefit to the town, additional benefit.
Adaptive reuse of the
Right.
building.
And just saying adaptive reuse. is
Yeah,
less cost of
forget that
building a new building.
1.2. That's a killer.
Yep, good point, good catch. Mike.
And let's face it, that building, as it exists,
I just wanna
needs
say-
work, be even a senior center.
What did you say again?
I said, as to we continue, if we continue as a senior center, that building needs some work.
Okay.
Parking, it's,
Oh, yeah, there's cost. I mean, right now, it's, as you said, a third of it does not.
So
handicap
if it
stuff.
doesn't pass, are we going to have to go before somebody and request money to fix up that building? And how is that going to be seen by the FinCom?
that building
Well,
is one
I
step.
think there's a
above.
need. The need doesn't go away.
Right.
The solution was voted, if its solution voted down, we still need a solution. TBD,
Okay.
right? And that's the thing is, take the word want out of your vernacular. It's all about need.
Mhm.
I heard need, wants, and needs. I'm like, you don't want wants, you just want needs. And if those needs exist, as we believe they do, if that solution is rejected, we still need a solution. So get back to the drawing board and
But in the capital planning thing, are we now at the back of the line? I wouldn't think so because if it
It's not-
doesn't pass code, it
it's not that sequential.
says the need is.
Yeah, it's not like you miss your turn and go to the end of the line.
Right.
All the events.
Never know.
all the tasks have to be evaluated at a point in time.
You're not
against
the
each
only
other.
pessimist.
Glass half full.
I would say I'm a realist. But yeah, no, the capital stuff will get evaluated.
All right, I'm just thinking
I
this.
mean, we got school roofs coming out this spring.
Sure you do.
We got recreational fields being teed up. A lot of things there.
Town on the move.
There we go, it's good. We just need to display how we can do this. In a rational time.
Right, but to go back to my other question, how many more did you knows are we looking for?
I would like a did you know every week. and
Every week? All
Some
right.
kind of factor.
Any suggestion on any more topics? Amy?
I still have to.
I know, I gave you that other one. Yeah, I know you're still working on that. You just want to take out a couple of seconds. for that. Well, just remove it and give it back to me. And it was on the Senior of the Year, which I think is a wonderful community event. And it was on the Veterans Breakfast, which is where we have people that we're turning away.
Right.
So they are very important things to get out there, especially before like November 11th.
Yes, we need to tee that one up. If I could.
Okay, but no other topics that,
The ones I can think of just broadly, right? We could look, and Karen, she did this on other ones. Do some research on generally from Massachusetts Council on Aging. There's tons of things that factual information. You can look and take studies on community, benefits community hubs.
Yeah, I think, Amy, I think you sent me some links that about, benefits of senior centers as a whole. So be happy to share those. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's you, Karen, or like, yeah, or I'll share them to the communications
That's right.
group.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. I think there's plenty of topics. I mean, if you broadly think about what's going to happen at this new facility, there are tons of things that happen today, but could happen futuristically. We just need to have our creative hats. And one a week shouldn't be too bad. It's only a paragraph. It only captures, I don't know, how many users we watch Facebook, Karen, on your phone?
you got like 5,000 something, 6,000.
But we know they're reading. We know they're reading.
Not all at once.
Well,
I wouldn't say all of them.
not 6,000.
No, kind of like the same.
We have counters on this, so you know.
We don't know how many.
And the
are
friends-
present.
And the friends never got theirs up.
But their Facebook page
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
active.
Not since Sue Carlson, and it's her birthday today.
No, that's okay. I think sometimes we have too many websites to go to. Okay. Anything else?
Yes,
Yes.
on your diagrams here, you've got Mendon Senior Center. Can you change that to Mendon Senior and Community Center? You want me to go through that?
Oh,
And also with your diagram, your costs, so this is Mendon Senior Center.
oh, yes, I see that.
Good catch.
Excellent. Like I'll need those quickly. Oh, well, I've read it's just a picture. Like,
Yeah, just a picture.
good catch.
And one more thing, on your, your facts there, on the one that says, is the land environmentally safe? And then it says, A, no contaminants. What if you put, is the land environmentally safe? Yes. No contaminants.
That's instead of starting with no, just so that
Exactly.
people don't misread it.
Well, I started to, I was like, oh, no.
We could expect,
That made that correction and send that. So I don't forget between them.
we could also expand it, say, based on a study and land test done by such and such.
But yeah, we're trying to.
Sure.
make it short and sweet.
Exactly.
Karen, is that the one you sent out today?
Yes.
We don't know if you would want, and if we would want that to be an insert in this letter, and we have two good videos, we have the article. And it would cost a little bit extra, but putting it in as a big back, was it worth it? I don't know.
Good.
Think on it.
Oh, what's the
that
deadline
would
again?
be- Yeah, so when does that go out?
Well, we don't have the hard copy in our hands, but
Right,
so
so
they
the next
could,
one.
it goes next week. If not, it's not later this week, next week. So we'd have to have Andrew print something up and insert it ourselves. To the tune of, I think it was it 225 for, it was 225 for, but that was for the whole town. I would probably be about $70, $70 just for the newsletter.
Seems
Yeah,
like
that's factual data you can put through the elders, the usual process, because it's not, none of these things, did you know, are saying vote for.
Right, it's just information about
Factual data.
Would you like that?
town
Have
resources.
that. So
Well,
make
it's
a
good.
change, make a
Yes.
change, and then send it over to me and I'll send it.
The more information we get out, the more visibility we have, the better off.
That's each one.
Only just 10%, so if everybody has a chance to look at.
I didn't have a chance to look at it yet, so.
That's a good catch. I mean, I think we should target that. And we can kind of come up with some kind of design and make it pretty in a black and white form. Okay. Anything else? Just a side question. When's the next select board meeting?
The next regular one is next Wednesday. We have the retreat on Saturday, the Collins Center retreat.
So because I'd like to bring Mike before the select board be approved by the select board as a committee member. So what do I need to do? Send you a note?
I guess, yeah, me and Jeremy. Jeremy's the one who's gonna fit it all together.
We'll add you then to the next
So that's
one.
Wednesday the 2nd, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It sounds right, yeah.
Yes.
Don't have a calendar. in front of me.
Okay. I'll send that note out, Mike, this week.
Okay.
Next week, if you get officially appointed. And I think you have to see Ellen to be sworn in.
Yes.
You've been on committee before, you know the drill.
Not this town, but
Okay. Wonderful. Next meeting, I urge, I'm gonna set out I guess because there'll be a number of us, I'm gonna set up a committee meeting for Monday. So that'll be our next non-voting Monday, the same time we meet with the info session, will be actually a formal committee meeting, for.
Okay, are you talking about the 30th?
The fifth.
Yes.
That's next month.
Right, we have the town meeting at 6:30.
And then it'll also be town meeting, and
Has to be posted because a quorum of the committee will be there.
we'll have to post it as a committee meeting, so we'll point them to the town information.
Okay, so you're not calling another meeting on top of that, thank God. I got no more room in this town that day.
I'm gonna break your calendar. That's
No,
my
you're
mission.
not, in my dead body. I know, hey. Did Elena know what day it was without her calendar? No.
I knew, yeah, day
Got
of
it
the
right here.
week, yeah.
Okay.
You can make fun of it all you want.
Anything else? Okay, we're gonna get fired up for this last month and a half. It's gonna be a hard road, but everybody you know, everybody you touch,
And,
educate them.
and how about our next meeting for this?
Yeah, next
That's what I,
regular meeting.
Regular meeting would be if we're gonna meet on the 30th. Because
Right, but, so, okay,
well, we can, then Dave's gonna run
so that
that.
would be the 8th.
I'll be here.
You won't be there, Dave?
I'm on, like football.
Same.
My last games are first, third, and eighth.
Okay, we'll find a date. I'll have to come back. That week we'll have a meeting. I will be in Arizona. But we'll figure out the
We
date.
do like a Wednesday or something.
Wednesday night. Except that'll conflict.
Wednesday's the select board.
No,
No, it's not that, yeah.
right? No, it isn't.
Second.
I mean, there was the possibility that we might add another Wednesday, but we haven't yet. So at this point, we don't have it scheduled.
I'll talk to Jeremy.
And you'll just get that out and I'll just say, we
It
decide.
looks like it'd be that Wednesday. When days.
The 9th?
Ninth, probably, right?
The night. That's what that is, lightly. I don't want to clutter your calendar.
So it's gonna be.
Okay, we'll see you.
Right, it's gonna be a Wednesday.
And make the adjustments.
Yeah.
Slides on.
Right.
Because I'm doing.
I will actually be doing the same thing. There's using it and it's just like slide. So it'll look different. Well, even if it's changed.
Okay, if there's no new business, do I have a motion to
Motion to adjourn.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Mike, for making the trip down.
See Ellen? That's like your. Show us what you're.
So I think we're also.